Hey guys, Jordy here. Welcome back to the channel. Today I thought I would bring it's kind of like a tutorial in a way, and maybe more of a tips and tricks video in terms of recoil, control, and ways to obviously minimize visual or help your visual recoil. So obviously with my ZK, if I just, I don't know, find a wall to shoot at, let's shoot at this one. I can relatively keep it in a tightish spread. Just cause like, so yeah, that's my spread. Other than the randomness of the horizontal, which is difficult to control on console, we get the less vertical, but the horizontal tends to be a lot harder to control. One thing that helps with that is the FOV, this setting, and the ADS field of view on. For field of view, like if I put this down to, I think the default is 55. Jesus, this looks so weird. It's still possible to do it, but as you can see, it's a lot like I'm a lot more up and down. It's just you can still do the visual like there. For me, it's fine because I've got used to it now. But for me, it's not as tight as the spread, whereas default FOV is. Like at range, it becomes a lot harder. Close range, it's still easy with the low FOV, but if you want to shoot someone, I'd say at least for the ZK from 10 to 15, like over there, yeah, as you can see, it gets a bit like all over the place with the minimum FOV. So if you want to go max, you can try that out, but a good middle ground is around 90, I would say, and then I would start around 90, which is for me was 89 was my old one. For me that's still. Like, that's still doable. So that's an FOV that I would start off at if you're on default. If you're on maybe like 70, you could probably jump up to around the 95 mark or 94. And then if you want to try it max first, you can. A setting that you want to make sure that you have on is ADS field of view. Obviously, if you have this off when you zoom in or ADS, you go back to the default FOV. This is nice if you're using a low recoil gun, maybe like an FG or an AR. This is a setting you can use. You do get, while you still get the speed of a high FOV, you get the zoom and visibility of a high FOV, of the low FOV. Sorry. But obviously, when it gets to range with a random recoil of a ZK and the horizontalness, like sometimes you get it good, and then sometimes it'll be. Like if I'm strafing as well, it can get a bit bad. But for me, definitely, it's something that you want to. I would definitely, if you're playing a medic or a more aggressive playstyle, I would run a high FOV ADS field of view on, and obviously if you run a 3x scope, turn the depth of field effects off, and obviously all your cinematic kind of effects like the film grain and vignette and stuff like that, turn all that off. Your motion blur to the 0%. If you run a lot of 3x, 6x, depth of field effects off helps with the visibility as well around the outside of your scope. But for me, if you're an aggressive medic player, I would run, or even an aggressive assault player, I'd run, high to max FOV with the ADS field of view on, and you will get, I would say, very little visual recoil. You still have your recoil, but it's a lot more manageable and easy to control, which allows you to focus on other things like your positioning and your actual pure aim as much as you can. If you're more of a, let's say like a less aggressive support player with like an FG, if you're using a 1x, I would definitely run ADS field of view off if this is the more playstyle that you're doing, because you can get some, like you still get very low recoil once you get used to it, and you get the visibility of it as well, so it's a good trade-off with the max FOV. So you get the speed and then you get the zoom and visibility when ADS. If you run a sniper, I run max FOV field of view off, but you can run field of view on, sorry. But if you run off, you get the zoom still while running at max FOV, so that's a nice trade-off as well. But to go through it again, how I get what some people would say no recoil, I still get it, but it's very, very not visual as well. I run max FOV, the setting as on, the ADS field of view on, And also slowdown can help with your recoil control. I mean, I'm not sure about that. I still have to test stuff like that. It helps with tracking, of course. In terms of recoil control, I'm not sure. It's something I'd have to look into more. But yeah, obviously max FOV ADS field of view on, and that's how I get very little recoil in the game. It's still there for me like everyone else, but the high FOV and the field of view on definitely helps with that. So that'll be the video. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below. I'll try and answer them as best as possible. If you want to see maybe a video on how to improve kind of like tracking and target / aim switching on console at least, let me know in the comments below and I can maybe bring a video out like that. But like I said, if you enjoy the video, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video or stream. Peace.